Good morning. It's Monday morning. Um, it has been probably a busy weekend, at least in terms of the amount of information I've sent out at you. And I don't want to overdo that, but I do want to lean toward over communicating. Um, this message is really specific to the project that you all have started working on. I met with a student this morning and helped clarify, but realized that the clarification that normally would have happened already may not have already to this point, and you've already you just submitted the part one of the project, and you're going to be working this week on part two. So I wanted to offer a couple of things to make sure that we're successful um, at the front end of this, because the project is sort of assembled as we go along, hopefully, and I don't want you to get behind or start down sort of a path that's not going to be helpful to you. So a couple of things that are going to be helpful, I think. One is just understanding how we're sort of assembling this as we go. Don't get overwhelmed with the larger project quite yet, but just kind of understand that that's the context you're working in. I've been sending out, or I started yesterday sending, posting. I called them reference announcements. So they are announcements that I would have sent out normally. There's lots of good information in there, both in terms of the concepts that we're dealing with, but also in terms of like writing skills and some tips around the project itself. So to the extent that you have time, they're referenced for a reason, but go back and check those out and see if there's some helpful information in there. You can skim and just look for, if you don't have a lot of time, just look for like the project tips or writing stuff. Pro tips is usually where those are located in the announcements. Um, okay. One other thing that I want to specifically mention um, is that because of our timeline here, I haven't started grading those the things that were just submitted yesterday, but I do want to answer questions that you may have. So I'm going to do two Zoom calls tomorrow on Tuesday. Those are open sort of meetings, if you will. Normally we would call those office hours. You can just drop into those, ask me questions. I'll probably be grading. Um, Ask me questions. We can talk through things. It is an open invitation. If you can make these two different times, I'll put those in this email. But 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Times at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then 3:30 Pacific, which is 6:30 Eastern. Um, those all you got to do is just show up. There's going to be a link in this email. If those times do not work for you, send me an email and we'll set something up. It probably won't take very long, and I'm pretty flexible. I will try really hard this early this week to be flexible. And the key here is early this week, because I know we've got a busy week. Part two is going to be due at the end of the week. So I want to try to help you all get oriented, get questions answered, all those kinds of things early this week, so that you can really focus and work through the end of the week. Okay, checking my list here. Anything else I wanted to mention? Okay, a couple of things specific to the project. If you noticed in the gradebook, the the project portions are worth about 100 points apiece, which is a lot, especially if you compare them to some of the others. And I'm not saying don't do those, but be aware of the weight, if you will, of each one of these assignments, and spend time on them accordingly if you have to choose. Hopefully you don't have to choose, but if you have to, know what you're choosing. Um, the key with the project is just to keep up, because we're assembling this as we go. If you get behind, you're going to have a whole lot more work down the line, and it will kind of build on itself. But if you keep up, by the end, all you have to do in that last week is maybe like compile the pieces and polish it a little bit, make it into a really good piece of writing, submit it for written feedback, do all of those things to make sure that you're getting the highest grade possible. Because collectively, that project that's worth a lot of points. So you want that to be as good as possible. So keeping up is key. If um, because of the some of the transition chaos that we've got this time around, um, you want to resubmit your part one based on our conversation this week, or the information that you get. If you want to resubmit, or you were confused and didn't submit it in time, this week only, um, you can use the late policy anytime. But this week you can submit it until Wednesday, so in 2 days from now, which is the 13th, I think, um, until midnight. Thursday, I'm going to start grading those at the latest. Um, but you can submit those without a penalty because I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to do well and is set up for success as we continue uh, on in the course. If you have any questions about that, as always, just email me. I really I don't bite. I love talking to students. That's why I do this, is to help you also. If I can, please let me help. Um, okay, I think that's all. I'm going to try to keep this kind of short. I hope you have a great week. If I can help in any way, please let me know and join me on that Zoom call, and maybe I can help you in person too. Okay, take care.